Hi, I'm Rachel Dreskin from Seasonal Brooklyn. Seasonal Brooklyn is a blog dedicated to bringing you recipe ideas and tips for using the freshest, most sustainable, and locally sourced products as possible. Now I'm going to show you a very simple and nutritious quinoa salad. One thing you want to keep in mind when you're cooking with quinoa is quinoa has a waxy coating on it called saponin. Now most quinoas that are available in the United States have already been rinsed and have had the saponin removed. But I always like to rinse the quinoa one more time just to be sure that all the saponin has come off of the grain. Okay, now that I've given the quinoa a really good rinse, I'm just going to try to remove some of the excess water, and I'm going to bring it over to my pot on the stove top. So now that the quinoa is in the pot, I'm going to add in a cup of chicken stock and just about a cup of filtered water. And to the pot, I'm just going to add a nice generous pinch of kosher salt. Now I'm going to bring this up to a boil. Once it comes to a boil, I'm going to lower it back down to a simmer, cover the pot, and let that simmer for about 13 minutes. Once the quinoa is done cooking and all the liquid has been absorbed, you're going to transfer it to a sheet pan. Just let the quinoa cool. So now I'm going to get started on the dressing for the salad. Now for any salad dressing, you basically want to use 1 part acid to 3 parts oil. So I'm going to use about 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, and then I'm also going to put a little bit of fresh lemon juice into the dressing, which will give it a nice freshness. So about the juice from a half a lemon or so. Now I've minced up about 4 sprigs of French thyme and about 2 sprigs of fresh rosemary. I'm going to add in a teaspoon of agave nectar. And I'm also going to add in a nice generous pinch of kosher salt and some freshly ground black pepper. And now it's time to add the oil. So I'm using extra virgin olive oil for this salad dressing. And like I said before, I have about 1.5 tablespoons of acid, so I want to add about 3 to 4 tablespoons of oil. Now that I have the dressing made, I'm going to put that aside. Now I'm using Braeburn apples because they have a really nice crisp texture to them. So I'm going to chop these apples into about a medium dice. And as soon as I have the apple chopped, I'm going to add this into a bowl, and I want to get an acid in here right away. So I'm going to squeeze a little bit of lemon juice right on top of the apple. And one last thing I want to do before we start composing the salad is I'm just going to give these almonds a rough chop. So I'm going to start composing the salad. To the bowl of dressing, I'm going to add in the quinoa that has cooled, the chopped apples, the dried cranberries. It's about 1/2 cup of dried cranberries and about 2 apples. And I'm going to add in 1/2 cup of the rough chopped almonds. Now that I've combined everything together, I'm going to plate this in my serving bowl. I'm going to finish up just for a little bit of color and a little extra freshness, a little bit of minced parsley on top. And here we have quinoa salad with cranberries, apples, and almonds.